G'day mates, my name is Easterchew, and today we're gonna learn something called respect. Roll with a cute little Easterchew voice.
It's Professor Easterchew. PhD, for this. I just read.
It's kind of like a commentary and intro thing, we're gonna do some jokes. But I've seen a lot of commentary channels talk about this person by the name of Tmossboss. So, as a slight reaction to all this, and hopefully teaching all of you about the concept of what respect is, we're gonna react to what he says in the video titled Why You Shouldn't Respect Disrespectful People. And I am so darn not excited about it. So, let's get to it. Okay, first of all, this is the intro. Why is he squatting down? Is it like supposed to be gangster or something? Okay, I can understand somebody wants to be gangster, but this is not how you do it. It looks like you're trying to take a deuce in the middle of the woods while looking cool. It's not that cool. And now when I think about it, I think I'm going to skip, because that's all he does in the beginning.
Okay, what's up, guys?
The ceiling!
So, I'm sitting there on Twitter, right? And I see that Blac Chyna is trending. So, right now I'm watching Raw. Usually, like, all the wrestlers are trending, but I seen Blac Chyna, and I'm like, she ain't gonna be making no guest appearance on WWE. Is she a wrestler now? Like,
well, it happened to Trump, it happened to John Cena, and it also happened to Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. The last two, they became actors. I don't know if they still do any wrestling, but to me, wrestling is kind of fake. There's not much blood and gore happening. It's just, let's fight. And you hardly see any of those wrestlers with bruises on them at the end, or with their face all messed up like you see in the cartoons. So, it's a little bit fishy with me when I see wrestling.
I mean, she has character, so I like that. I would like to see her on wrestling and stuff. It would be like different. It'd be kind of like strange and bizarre. Like that's just a weird moment and stuff. But anyways, nothing to do with WWE. I mean, it was leading into like a WWE event. Like I feel like a fight was about to happen in the clip that I seen, but no fight. I don't think a fight happened. I ain't watch all of it. I ain't watch like that whole scene and stuff, or even the episode that came on tonight. But
there's a thing. It's called clickbait. I'm not even making this up for those who don't know. Clickbait is where you get somebody intrigued with a video with the title completely different, but yet it popped up as a different video. It's kind of like pranks in a way of the internet. But the way you implied, it sounds a little bit odd to us.
anyways, Blac Chyna and I think it was her mom. They were arguing, going back and forth, putting pans in each other's faces and stuff. And there was a part where I was like, "Whoa!" Like invisible whistle. Like I gotta blow the whistle on this one. Like, nah, we gotta call a timeout. All right. So Blac Chyna and her mom are arguing, and then it gets to, because it's a reality TV show, so it gets to one of those scenes where they're in a room like talking about the incident.
Okay, I'm gonna time out with this one myself. I don't watch reality TV show for particular reasons. One of them being it feels and looks fake. It's like Kardashians and 10 not turning 21. Doesn't sound like an appealing title to me. I don't know why.
And he cuts to Blac Chyna's mom, and she said something like, "I don't care if I sold her to an army. She has to respect me at the end of the day." Because I guess, yeah, Blac Chyna was being disrespectful and stuff. And I don't know, like, yeah, I guess you always have to show your parent respect. But if they say things like that, like, do you still have to respect them at the end of the day? Because obviously they don't care about you if they're selling you around. And most likely, yeah, if they're selling you for, like, they selling you to army and it's like most likely for sex and things.
Okay. Tyler, it's not disrespectful in a way that you make it out to be. Blac Chyna's mom was saying this as a hyperbole, also known as figure of speech. It's where they say something, but they don't actually gonna do what they said or mean what they said. You just made it sound like she is actually gonna send her daughter to a boot camp. That sounds kind of weird. To be honest, I don't think Tyler got the idea of what a hyperbole means. The best way you can actually know what a hyperbole means is something to saying like this. If I say, get off your high horse, will you reply with, I'm not on a horse?
I feel like that ain't being respectful to that person. So why should I respect that person if they're just gonna turn around and disrespect me?
Because it's a figure of speech. Doesn't mean Blac Chyna's mom actually gonna do it. And you're taking Blac Chyna's mom out of context. This is what I see from Tyler a lot. He takes things so much out of context, it's completely made it sound weird. Link to the original video, what he was talking about back down below. Chyna was keeping secrets from her mother, and her mother is just getting irritated, so things just came out the way they came out. Doesn't mean Blac Chyna was in the right, it was her mother who was in the right. But Blac Chyna is completely in the wrong. I don't care how old you are, I don't care if you're like 90 and your mother is like 155. You still have to respect your parents anyway, as long as they raise you correctly. And from what I'm seeing, that's it. Blac Chyna's mom is in the right, while Chyna herself isn't.
And that's why I'm even making this video. Do not show respect to disrespectful people.
Tyler, are you iron deficient? Cause I just felt the irony in that statement. People were actually giving you respect in the past. And I see respect more like criticism. You can choose whether or not you can accept it or not accept it. But it doesn't mean what they're doing was the right thing or the wrong thing. Unless there's something that can back up. What Tyler is saying, you cannot respect people who are disrespecting you. So, even though when the person is giving him respect by giving him criticism that can help improve his content, he decided to be disrespectful, which means he wants these people to disrespect him back. That sounds like a fair trade.
Family, friends, I don't care who it is. If they're saying things and doing things like that to you, you don't have to show them. It's your choice at the end of the day whether you want to show them respect or not. If you're a forgiving person, then stuff like this should just like go right past you. All right, you should just goes right past you, doesn't faze you or anything. But I don't know, saying things like that, I'm like, whoa.
Mate, I'm Christian. I can forgive almost everybody. You'd be surprised how many friends I made for forgiveness. But yet, with forgiveness and respect is pretty much different. Even though you can forgive the person, you cannot in fact respect them. So, you gotta earn their respect to be forgiven. So that way, it can be truthful. Respect is subjective in a way. You can earn that respect back if you've proven you can be a good person. You have to prove you need to have that respect before you were even given respect back. That's what I've learned.
I feel like that the respect that you're showing me, like, is that really like do and I gotta like do something like I gotta be nice? Like I just have to be like it just really threw me off when she said that. Like I'm like that's somewhere it's like that doesn't even make any sense.
You know, family members say those things that sounded pretty weird. You know when a family member started mocking you because they don't think it's a roast at all? That's practically it. When somebody says something they don't really mean to offend you, that's just called being funny or a joke. Don't take jokes too seriously.
Like why would you even that's like the worst example you can
I think it's a perfectly good example. I'm possibly really weird.
use. All right, for any situation, that's the worst example you can use. So you cause a person emotional, mental, physical, you cause them some form of pain. And that person is supposed to respect you. And you're showing like no remorse. Like you're not being like, you're just, I,
Well, it's called being sociopathic. If somebody don't show empathy or emotions towards what's happening to you, that's just them being a little bit ignorant to what's going on here. Like, their emotions. That just means the person is lack of empathy.
something like that, man. It's like, it's not so much as it like hits home, but it's just so dumb that people think like that. Like, I don't know. Me, I'm just that person in life where I'm trying to be different from stuff that I was raised on. So,
So you chose to not respect anybody who tried to give you criticism. That doesn't sound like a win in my book. It sounds like a bit of a lose. Or a kick to the bloody foot.
pretty much saying like things like this where you're supposed to respect parent, guardian, whoever, regardless.
Once again, Blac Chyna's mom said it as a figure of speech! This is sometimes I wish I am not living in a world with this idiot still around.
Of them shooting you in the head.
I'm sorry, what was that?
Of them shooting you in the head.
Shoot you in the head. You know what? I'm not silver enough for this. Yep, that's the good shit. I'm gonna let it sit in for a moment. The fact is, I know there's people around who, in fact, survived from getting shot in the head. That's just 1 in a billion people. A billion. So what logic is that?
Selling you for sex, alright?
That's just being called a pimp. You know what? I'm still sober. Yep. Feeling it. Oh boy, that's good.
Breaking every bone in your body, breaking you down as a person. You're supposed to show them respect. I guess I'm just that person where I'm like, no.
Of course you don't. You don't give respect to people who do those things. That's just called abuse. And mostly, abuse is where somebody suffers some kind of injury or some form of mental mentality that messed them up in a way. I'm probably gonna be linking all the definitions of that in the description. Man, I'm drunk. Don't try this at home.
Like, I can't. I can't. And it's just like, it's just so many things running through my mind with this situation. Like, why does a person have to respect? Like, that's overall.
Oh yeah, wherever hurts like the knife. There's no more iron in Minecraft because it goes to build some armor.
You don't have to respect anybody if they're gonna be disrespectful like that.
So if a drill instructor screams at the people that he's instructing, they should not give respect to him back. That's pretty weird. Because the sergeant's job to, in fact, toughen up the troops so they can be prepared. So him acting disrespectful isn't the fact that he doesn't disrespect his troops. It means he's toughing them up. It's the same way with the boss at your job. Sometimes there can be some form of abusive, like telling you to work extra hours or doing this and that. I bet we have those bosses once in a while. But you gotta understand why they act the way they act. Not just past acts, like profession acts.
And I know there's gonna probably be people all like, oh well, like trying to like argue with me about that. Like,
yeah, I'll be okay if my parents say that. Because it's a figure of speech. One time my mom says, if you don't in fact respect me, I'm gonna shove your head through a wall. Doesn't mean she's gonna actually shove my head through a wall. That's just her telling you, you're being disrespectful to me, I'm gonna be abusive verbally towards you. Doesn't mean she's actually gonna do it. It's just a threat. Sometimes parenting is pretty weird, but I think the way that Blac Chyna's mom is doing it is in her right. She has the right to do that. It's not Blac Chyna's mom's fault, it was Blac Chyna. Where do you get all this from? I'd like to see the definition of respect, please. Thank you. Now put the definition of disrespect. Thank you.
oh, so you would be okay with your parent or whoever selling you for sex, all right? And then you can respect them at the end of the day.
That's a pimp. If somebody sells you for sex, that's a pimp. What sort of logic are you hanging on the balance? You know what? I need more alcohol.
Because I know people will be all like, oh yeah, like no. I just can't hear or see or like find any argument against that. Because
Hey waiter! Get another bottle with you because this shit is empty. Okay, it's not empty.
if a person is just not caring about you, why should you have to like care about them?
Because they raise you. If a parent doesn't pretty much do the things that you claim they did, it doesn't mean they didn't raise you right. If you're a very nice person, and back in the day you were a pretty terrible person, if your parents didn't give you the talk or just shrink you down to their level, that's not them being rude or them trying to not let you follow your dreams. They're just putting you down because you're misbehaving. That's it. And if a parent say that, that's just them being a parent. Simple as that.
You know, like that's stuff like that where it's like, I guess if you're forgiving after a while, but for somebody like me, it would take some time. Like it would take time.
Of course, people do have time to recover. Sometimes people will take like 5 years to recover from what they're going through. And that's why I want to leave the video there. Because if I keep going, I'm gonna be ruining my kidneys. So don't go witch hunting him because it's a waste of your breath, and I don't want him to get any more attention than he already has. If you want more context who Tmossboss is, there's a 2-hour-long video in the description with Just a Robot, edited by Joshua Montague. And speaking of Joshua Montague, I did an animatic for him. It will be linked in the description where it is. And if you want a better advice about respect, I would suggest you go check out Markiplier's Respect. He goes into more detail on what it means, and he's a better philosopher than I can put out because I'm just drunk. So anyways, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Stay 150, my friends.
Do you just wake up in the morning and think, holy shit, I'm gonna be a tumor today?